Right friends, Bobby Bang Bang here with a little video for you. It's a song I put together, a little rendition of sorts tonight. Hope you enjoy. I heard the news today, oh boy. The earth is flat and there's no outer space.
So, here we go. Tonight I am chatting with Ruben, who is from the YouTube channel Everybody Equals Mind Control Squared, which is a really clever name for a YouTube channel. And I was wondering how you came up with it. What gave you the inspiration for it?
Well, I'd found the Earth was flat and kind of wanted to get the message out there. My friend Shazwa Bugti kind of encouraged me to create a channel and start putting content out there. Cynthia had also, my partner Cynthia had also kind of nudged me and said, just do it. If it feels right, then do it. And then I created the channel, and then I was like, well, happy about it. Had the banner, the picture and everything. And then I didn't know what to put up. I was like, what do I put up? And then it just happened randomly. I was in the garden. I think I had my sunglasses on, and just looking at this chemtrail plane in the sky, and just went across the sky, and I noticed that there was like a black shadow in front of it being formed. And then I thought it was a black chemtrail. I've heard of black chemtrails, and I looked at where the sun was, the angle from the sun coming in, and it just made sense that the black line that I saw was a shadow being casted from the chemtrail. So there was a layer already sprayed, a thin layer, and then that's where that's where the shadow is being casted on. So I just started recording, and then just spoke about it and said, like, this is what I'm going to call a chem shadow, I think it was. And then it started from there. I've only put out 9 videos. Still working on Dave Moore's Biggest Rival, Spanish translation. And yeah, I don't want to just clog up. I did at the start, just clog up videos, just going into WH Smith and being, oh, look at this and look at that. But I want to put something with content out, like, before.
Some different content, always.
Yeah, something meaningful. Yeah.
No, it is all meaningful, you know, pointing those things out to people. It's still very meaningful. But I understand what you're saying, like you want to do something a bit closer to your heart, a bit deeper.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's great. So I'm going to change the subject because this is my specialty, change the subject. You mentioned that you're doing a translation of Dave Moore's Biggest Rival into Spanish. And I've met your family, and you're all fluent in Spanish. How important do you think it is for people to understand other languages?
Okay, I think it's very important. It's good to be bilingual, multilingual would be even greater. But if a message can be understood, like the way The Biggest Lie of All has been received in English, it was incredible. It still is growing. In the trailer that I've got, I forget what the number was, like more than so many thousand views. Now it's at a ridiculous number. So I think in another language, if we translated all of these videos into other languages, especially like prominent languages like Spanish or French, or, I mean, are commonly used languages, more people would wake up. There's not enough people from other cultures, in my opinion, putting stuff out there. The Brazilians are doing a lot, I've seen. In Spain, we've got Oliver Ivanes, or Ludlow, I'm not sure if you know about him. He's doing great. He's doing great work. Who else? But yeah, I don't see it in other cultures. I think the Polish.
It's important to spread the message, isn't it? And it's no good if only English people speaking are the ones receiving this knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to take a lot longer to pass that information on to other people. Yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, well done on that, and well done on persevering and teaching your children that your native tongue when they're growing up in England, which can't be easy, So
I remember
yeah,
when I
thumbs up to that.
didn't like my mom teaching.
You didn't?
I'd appreciate it now. She used to
Yeah.
take me to Spanish classes after school twice a week, and I didn't like it. But we formed friendships with other people, and now that I look back on it, I do appreciate it. Being bilingual has helped a lot. So yeah, it'd be great to learn.
Priceless. It is, it's priceless. So you kind of answered my next question, which was what was your inspiration for your YouTube channel? But you already told me that was because your discovery of flat Earth.
Yeah.
But if I can ask you, how did you come to the discovery of the flat Earth information?
Okay. I was watching. Well, Cynthia told me that she was pregnant, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to learn how to be a dad again, do all the stuff again, and I started looking into, for some reason, birth certificates, and I stumbled upon legal name fraud, and I came across a video by Dave Murphy, where he was driving without a license or insurance, and police stopped him and watched the whole thing, and I was like, this is cool. And delved more into the legal name fraud, researched into that, and it completely went off on a tangent because I was meant to be looking at like baby stuff and being a father again. And I've gone on into legal name fraud, and then the next video he put out was the biggest lie of all, and I watched that, and it didn't have. If I'm not mistaken, it didn't have the title "Flat Earth" in the beginning. I think it does.
No, it didn't. No.
Right. So I think if it did, it might have put me off. But I just clicked on it, and like straight away it was like, by the end of part one I had a lot of questions, like about half a page of questions, and then when I saw there's a part two, I watched that, and then the list got bigger, and then for a whole month I just solid, from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, I was just researching on the computer non-stop. And then it was 2 weeks here in England, and then we went to Spain, carried on doing the research there, and Cynthia's family and everyone was going on road trips and going out, and they were like, are you coming? And I was like, no, I'm fine. Just carrying on the internet, and going into the garden and just dropping stuff together at the same time, and looking at the sky, and nighttime come and just sit there smoking, looking at the sky, just pondering. And then yeah, after a month, Cynthia asked me if I was cheating on her, and I said no. Yeah, I said no, but baby, I think the Earth is flat. And then she was just like, okay, lost it.
So,
and then I said,
I was just going to say, I guess that was a bit of a relief for her then, because for most people, when the partner say, I think the Earth's flat, they think they have the mental breakdown. Okay, it was a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, explained everything to her, and then she kind of grasped it quite quick. And it took a month for me to be able to say anything else out in front of everyone, in front of other people that I knew. And then I just remember the first post that I posted was, gravity and relativity is still a theory. And then I started posting fun facts from, like, I don't know, 200 proofs. I would take 200 proofs and then do it as a fun fact for the day. And then say like satellites cannot exist in orbit because blah 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 blah, and then someone would come in and just be like, actually no, because the molecules in space are too far away apart, and so you can't register the heat and blah 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 blah. And I was like, that makes no sense, and I took so much heat.
Yeah, show me one of those molecules, please.
Yeah, you have a practical example.
Yeah, so it was really quite a growth for you, you know, going from looking at baby names and then becoming, you know, quite a big proponent of the flat Earth, which is kind of an oxymoron because the Earth's not moving, you know. So yeah, when you went to Spain that time on the holiday, was you kind of looking out of the window and thinking, I want to find the curve. I want, you know, show me the curve, please.
Yeah, that's what I was doing on the way there, and on the way back, it was just like, it's just not there. And just thinking, it's true. You should see a drop in elevation the moment you go up. 25,000 miles in circumference, it should start to drop at some point, and it didn't. The whole thing about listening to your eye level, it just made it clicked. As an artist, it just clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's there in our face the whole time.
So that's another thing I want to talk about, because you are an artist and you're a very talented artist. First of all, I want you to explain the word diorama to the viewers. What is a diorama?
Okay. A diorama is a small scale replica of anything, really. So for me, what I done was I started making pieces for my, I'm a toy collector, so I was making pieces for my action figures, basically. And Cynthia saw, no, it wasn't Cynthia, it was everyone around me started to see the potential, and she did kind of kick me out the tree and said, go out and make something of this. So as I was getting orders on the internet, and she kind of encouraged me to go to a shop, comic book shop, and pitch it to them. So I did, and then they took a couple of pieces, and then went from there. And then who was it? Andy, I believe, ordered the first flat Earth model with a dome. So I was like, okay, I knew that was coming. I knew that was going to come. So I made that one, posted it on Facebook as like a progress report. And who was next? I think Alan saw it.
Yeah.
So made him one, and because of, bear with me.
So really, I have to give a lot of credit to your wife, Cynthia. I mean, I have met her in real life and she's a sweetheart, but she's given you so much support in everything that you wanted to do. You know what I mean? That's a true partnership.
Yes.
And when you look at today's society, the family structure is being kind of eroded and attacked from all angles.
Yep.
So it's really lovely to see such a strong family and a strong couple, and a man and a wife that are supporting each other in what it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's not many people out there that have a job that they love to do. Do you know what I mean? Or many people out there that have the courage or even the belief in their own partner to say, go and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, do you have one there for us to look at?
This is rooftop. So what I was saying is it's dioramas are small scale replicas of anything, basically. So I was working on a rooftop here, of got completed, but yeah, it's made really light material.
Oh, well, that's amazing. When you hold it still, you can see the brickwork that's on.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
So
What kind of material is that made out of, Ruben?
it's some blue, if you just bear with me, I'll pull it out. It's some blue foam called insulation foam. So yeah, what I do is I just draw the bricks or whatever pattern I want to cut into. I draw it on there, and then using a Stanley knife, I go over it, and then I have a little tool that opens it up a bit. So it's really easy to play with. So after I paint it all black, so the paint goes inside the little cracks in there. Then paint it brown, and then like give it a little black wash, and then yeah, looks like a brick wall.
That is so much detail.
I'm still learning. I've only been doing it a year.
So are you kind of learning on the go?
Yeah.
Yeah, just learn on the fly. It's good. It's the best way to gain experience, anyway. In my view.
Definitely.
Would you mind showing us one of the flat Earth models that you've built? Have you got one of those?
Yep. This one's going out to Raymond, someone called Raymond in America. So we've got the dome, the firmament. Just take that off for a minute.
I'm just getting closer to the TV to see this. Oh wow, that's fantastic! Look at the detail. That's amazing. So, if somebody wanted to order one from you, Ruben, can they kind of give you an idea of a model that they want?
Yeah.
You know, they might not necessarily want stone, or
Yep.
they might want Mount Meru in the middle, or do you know what I mean? You know,
Yep.
yeah.
What I've done is the little thing I've put together is called RDJ custom dioramas. So it's customizable. It's however the customer wants. They tell me, and I'll
write that down. Is that capital letters? RDJ.
Yeah. RDJ. It's my initial.
Dioramas.
Custom dioramas.
Custom dioramas. Do you have a website?
Another website. I've got Instagram, Pinterest, but I haven't really put much on Pinterest. YouTube. I haven't put much on YouTube. Really, it's Facebook and Instagram for the art.
I will put those links in the description box. So if anybody is interested in any kind of diorama or their own flat Earth model, then they can contact you on Instagram or Pinterest, Facebook, or wherever.
There's also a clock I made over here for Mark Curzon.
I'm friends with Mark.
I think he did the
is that a working clock?
Yeah, 24-hour round.
Do you not have an eBay channel, Ruben?
Sorry?
Do you not have an eBay channel?
eBay?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No. I should though.
Yeah, you could do, but people can find you on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and I'll leave those links in the description box because
Thank you.
I want one of those clocks myself. They're fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. I'm so impressed. I'm like,
it doesn't feel like a job when it's something that you enjoy, you know.
it's something that you love.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody should be doing. Everybody should be working 2 days a week and doing something they love doing.
Most definitely.
I think.
Speaking of 2 days a week, we've just got the all clear to do homeschooling with our daughter Maya.
Oh, you are?
That's brilliant. I'm so excited with that. There was no resistance. The headmaster said, like, obviously you're more informed about this than I am. Let me speak to the governors and the teachers and whoever I have to. And then he called us, was it yesterday? No, today. He called us today and said, gave the all clear.
Oh, congratulations. For the viewers, Ruben, can you tell us how you went about that? How you approached the school with it?
Yeah. Well, we just went online and looked in forums for other people who've experienced it and how they went about it. And then just wrote the reasons why we wanted to have her out. And then just explained that we're not getting enough time with her, that our children are being taken from young for far too long away from their parents, and they end up like respecting more the authority of an establishment rather than the parents. So we just said, like, for one, that's one reason why we don't want her to go to full-time education. Two, that I told him straight up, most of the stuff that I was taught in school was useless to me and it was not even true. So I don't want her to have to waste the best years of her life going through the same that we we've all been through, you know. So we said that we prefer to teach her stuff at home, stuff about history, the way that they taught us what happened, the official story, and then the way that we've found out the history really went down. Teach her real science, not pseudoscience. She was upset though that she wouldn't mingle with her friends, so this is why we went for flex homeschooling. So 2 days at school, 2 days with us. What else?
Nice. So you've got flexi time.
Yep. So see how that goes, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then we're just gonna pull her out. And and we've said to him that that because we were going to move her from school because school's kind of going downhill. Yeah, so she was in the first position 1 or something, but then somehow she got pushed down because I don't know, somehow someone else took priority. So decided to just stay at the school, and we'll see how it goes. But she's excited about it as well, and yeah.
Oh, well, that's really good news. And for any other parents listening, maybe that's the way to go about it in a very polite and informed manner, and just see how the school take it, and try not to react too harshly if they're first against you, and if at first you don't succeed, try again.
It's really at the headmaster's discretion. That's what most people were saying in the forums, and really that's what it came down to. When we had the meeting with him, he was quite. We weren't aggressive or anything. We were just trying to get him to understand where we were coming from, and he did. So, yeah, it's all about communication. Just be honest with them and tell them how you feel.
That's fantastic. So I'm going to change the subject again, because we never really talked about what you was doing before Flat Earth. You know, if you was working or working as an artist, or prefer not to say, that's quite fine.
Yeah, no. Basically, we were well, we still are child minding actually. Yeah, so looking after children, and then I was also a traffic marshal. So yeah, for company courts. It doesn't even matter what the company was called, but we used to work for the Olympics and had some big contracts around the place. But it was hard work, and I felt myself becoming really old really quick.
Yeah.
It was long, and they didn't really care about you. You know, you could get run over and they wouldn't care. So
Yeah.
did that and started childcare with Cynthia and a friend of ours, Tasha. And then the art, I wasn't really using it to my potential. I wasn't doing anything with it really. So yeah, that's when Cynthia's like, "You've got a talent, use it. So don't let it go to waste." That's why I decided to. I think I watched a video as well called "Quit Your Slave Job," and that kind of gave me.
Quit your slave jobs. I'm going to write that down. Quit your slave jobs.
How to quit.
I have a slave job because I don't have one at the moment. I'm a full-time activist. Quit your slave job. Yeah, I'm going to look at that. Start looking for a job. But child minding and working from home, first of all, it meant that you got to spend more time with your family, which is the most important thing in the world if you have a family. And it also gives you the grounds and the knowledge and the understanding to be able to child your own children. So it was like a perfect work experience for you, in a sense. Great. So, what am I up to? I've already asked that. So the other thing I want to talk about, because you touched on it briefly before, and that was about discovering Dave Moore, who is allegedly Dave, and the what is it, legal name fraud and all that. Can you describe that in a nutshell for people so that they can get an understanding of how our names are used against us?
Sure.
And how they're not actually really our names.
So Admiralty, Maritime Admiralty, the law of the sea, and when a child is birthed through the mother's birth canal, in the same way that a ship docks, you produce a manifest sheet manifest which says what cargo you have on board. So in the same way, when a mother produces a child, they have to register, which in legalese terms, it's not English. Legalese is the language of law. Basically, you have to register, which means give up ownership, sign over ownership of the child over to the state. And when that is done, a legal fiction or a straw man is created, and this is like the paper you in capital. I've heard that it doesn't have to be capital letters. Usually, I have seen it in capital letters. This is your like bank statements, your passport. So this is where they can catch you with legalese, where you're summoned to court. And it's not technically you, it's the straw man.
Yeah, but because we don't understand the language,
don't know
we just accept that is us.
Yeah.
It's not actually us at all. And that's where they trick us with the language, because when we walk into a courtroom or sign any kind of contract, it looks like plain English. And we think we understand it, but it's not plain English, it's legalese. And they're constantly updating their dictionaries. Every time we catch on to the game, they update the dictionary and bring out a new edition. So would you agree then that it's the lawyers that create the language, or at least create legalese?
Yeah, I'm
Or,
not sure what
or
behind it. I mean, they
yeah,
lawyers don't care about you. They're just after the money, straight up.
yeah,
That's the truth. It's best to represent yourself in court if possible. Learn the law as best as possible and represent yourself.
mm,
In my opinion.
yeah, yeah, sure. My whole experience of it has just been to ignore it for as long as I can. And it's not an easy thing to do. It can be very stressful when you've got like bailiffs knocking on your door and trying to intimidate you and things. You know, it's certainly not an easy thing to deal with. So it's bullying basically,
It
you
is
know.
a racket.
It's a form of aggression against the population. You know, because I parked my car somewhere somebody else decided I shouldn't, even though it was safe. So you know, just as an example, you know. So
Soon you'll have to pay to breathe clean air. That's,
yeah, it's not far off, is it? You know, all this global warming and carbon tax and carbon footprints, and it's just all fantasy. It's fairy tale. It's quite frightening, really, when you think that when you're at school, they show you science books and they show you pictures of planets and things and stuff. When you get
image.
to university or you go to a library and you look for those pictures of planets, they're exactly the same as the cartoons that they were when you were 5 years old. So
Yeah.
It's deep.
They're images, not pictures, by the way. They're images, not pictures.
Oh, yeah, they're images. Thank you for correcting me there. Yeah, they're images. Cartoons, I call them.
Cartoons.
Cartoons.
Cartoon.
Yeah. then I don't get confused. Cartoons. Yeah, you're fine, Tina. That's fine. Tina's back.
Hello, Tina.
Hi. Yeah. So,
You guys inspired me to get the blue paint. I've got blue paint here somewhere. Yeah, neon blue.
Excellent. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's really vibrant.
That's
Good
lovely.
choice, guys.
Yeah, I've been doing some today. Well, I don't even care. Yes, I have been doing some spray painting today. But I spray painting for the last 2 years. I've just been scribbling on, you know, the back of bus seats and toilet doors and bus shelters and lampposts and anywhere I can find, you know, just with the marker pen. But I do paint on canvas, and I use spray paints for that. And so then I thought, I'm going to make a stencil. So then that's where that idea came from. So then I just started making stencils, which then brings me onto the Facebook group, which we've created.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's the Flat Earth Street Activism group. It's a fantastic group. It's highly interactive. Everybody that's in the group is constantly involved in some form of activism, whether it's leaving out business cards and, you know, on cafe registers, or wearing T-shirts, paint, you know, drawing on the back of bathroom doors. What's this you've got?
This one is one of Laura's leaflets in the papers.
Yeah, I've seen those leaflets. Did Laura do that?
Yep.
That is an amazing leaflet.
These
Full
are brilliant.
packaging. People have been doing great works of art on skate parks and things. So, we've got the Flat Earth sticker campaign, which you've been highly involved in. You've been extremely imaginative with the Flat Earth sticker campaign.
Put them everywhere. Check this one. Got all the flat here.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I like it. Oh, look at that. That's a shield. What a shield. Get back, you globalist.
You've got the sellotape as well.
The sticky tape, yes. I'm not sure by law we're allowed to call it sellotape. Isn't that a trademark?
Oh, just sticky tape.
Yes, sticky tape. It's fantastic.
Oh, we've got it on the car as well.
Yeah. Are you showing us a piece?
Yeah, I was going to, but I think I haven't got nails, so I messed it up.
Okay. Well, Tina has completely pimped the car up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That drive down the road, street activism all day long.
Yeah, all day long. Everywhere we go.
Wow.
And it's the most fun thing. And yeah, getting back to the group, everybody that does something or finds something,
Yeah.
posting it to the group, everyone's commenting, it's spreading ideas, and it's just a really fun, interactive group. So yeah, well done for that.
Yeah.
That was a great idea.
Everyone taking part. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Ruben actually made the tape.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is the sellotape yours, Ruben, or is that just from eBay?
No, I got that from James Pierce Baker, Flat Earth Addict.
Flat Earth Addict.
Yeah,
Flat Earth Addict.
he lives like in the next town. And Seven Sisters is in the next town over. So met up with him a while back. We had like a little London meetup.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was only small. It was just 4 guys,
Yeah.
just talking, and we had the banner out. Had some homemade banner made, and yes, I spoke to him then, and I bought one off him, and then done some damage with it everywhere, and then I was running out, and then just before the camp that we just had at Eastbourne, I remember that a few people had asked for a role, like Richie wanted one. A few people were asking for some Flat Earth tape. So here you go. Finally got it.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I love it.
Sticky. Very
I did one on the train station. I won't mention which town. I did one on the train station, and as you're walking out of the train station, it says "Way Out," but just before "Way Out," I put "Flat Earth," so it says like "Flat Earth" is the way out. Yeah, that's one of my favourites. There's actually, I have a communal garden just across the way, and there's a big empty wall which has been spray painted before. So I'm gonna go through the proper channels, and I'm gonna contact them, and I'm gonna ask them if I can do a piece of art there, and see if I can put it on, because it's a really high traffic area, you know, a lot of joggers, a lot of walkers, a lot of people taking the kids out. So that's well, I've got quite a lot of projects at the moment, but that's on my list, my to-do list anyway. So
that's great and you're doing it the official way. So that's great. It's brilliant.
yeah.
Give something for everyone to think about.
So what's on your to-do list, Ruben?
My to-do list. Right, so I've got these models and clocks going out. We wanted to put up Flat Earth Addict and I were trying to put up a billboard in Tottenham Hill. There's a high traffic area there. So
You know, when you say billboard, are you going to be paying for advertisement, or are you just going to hijack it?
No. I wanted to pay for it.
You just pay for it, yeah.
It would look more official, more presentable. If you do it, the Earth is flat, research, blah 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 blah. It would look a bit ghetto, for lack of better terms, and
yeah,
like the American guys have already showed like I think there's four have been done,
yeah,
and they do look nice and they do catch attention. It's getting the message out there. So yeah, I think that's the whole point of what we're doing. Is I think we should get it offline and out into the public more.
Yeah, I agree. And online, there's just so much debate about it, you know, and you can just go round and round in circles. And especially when people keyboards, they can get a bit vicious, should I say, and it becomes a bit unpleasant to deal with. And also it takes up a lot of your time and energy, you know, and sitting still and not really concentrating on anything else, but getting out there in the public domain, where regular people can see it, and rather than trying to argue the point, you're just planting seeds. Everywhere they go, they're starting to see this thing, you know, the earth is flat earth, research flat earth, NASA live, you know, all these different seeds are being planted in the mind, rather than people trying to argue the point with them, which is counterproductive in my opinion. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Right,
now,
friends,
I heard
Bobby
on
Bang
the
Bang
grapevine,
here with a little video
and,
for you. It's a song I put together, a little
there's a
rendition of
convention
sorts.
coming up in the
Hope you
UK
enjoy.
in 2018.
Yeah.
I heard the news today.
Anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a convention in Birmingham.
There's no outer space.
June or July, I'm not sure. Check again. The organizer's Gary John on Facebook, and there's going to be quite a few guest speakers. Darren Nesbitt's going to be there, Dave Murphy, Sergeant Lee, John Lamorgan.
Coming over, isn't it?
Perception had changed.
I always spell his name wrong.
Yeah, me too. I've just let the phone do it for me.
They'd seen this
So I've got
so
Gary Jones organising. He's talking or just organising?
Sorry? I think he'll be talking. I'm sure he will, introducing.
And then we've got Darren Nesbitt, Dave Murphy, aka Allegedly Dave, Mark Sargent.
Yep.
Anyone else remember off the top of your head?
John Morgile.
Morgile.
Yep. Oliver Ivanes.
Oliver Ivanes.
What's his name? Martin Leakey, Flat Earth British.
Oh yeah, I know him. That's a difficult surname to pronounce, isn't it?
Yeah. Dave Marsh, I believe, will be presenting as well.
Dave, oh yeah, I do like Dave Marsh. He takes some fantastic photographs of the moon, does Dave Marsh?
Yeah.
Martin
Yeah.
Flat
Earth team.
Are you going to be displaying any of your artwork there?
I believe so, yeah. I've spoken to Gary on the phone at length and helped to get some people there as well to take part, like, Kanev Art.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be attending as well.
I won't be on here, so let him know.
Planning the meeting as well. So yeah, I'll have some models as well.
He do. If anyone's not friends or doesn't know of Kevin Art on Facebook, he does some very. Is that one of his pictures? If you talk, Ruben, and then it'll show a picture up on the screen.
Okay, so this is a picture from our friend Kanev Art, and it's an original piece. On one side, we've got the heliocentric world, and on the other side, it's obviously the flat Earth. So it says Monkey Man versus Created Man, and it just sums it up so beautifully.
Yeah, and very emotionally as well.
Yeah.
I find his work very deep and emotional and thought-provoking.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that sounds very interesting. So that's in the summer next year, sometime in June or July.
There's more people, but that's off the top of my head.
Just off the top of your head. No, I appreciate that. Are you going to be going to Derby, the next speakers meet?
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming.
Are?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Is the family going?
I believe so, yeah.
Excellent. Tina and I are trying to get there, aren't we? Otherwise, we're definitely going to Shell Island if you're going there.
I'll see. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think, what month is that?
That's at the very end of October. It's going to be freezing.
I'm not sure. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think I'll be able to make that one.
So, that is about it for this evening, Ruben. I'd like to thank you very, very much for coming on and talking about all your endeavours.
Okay.
It's been really interesting and a really good chat and a great catch up.
Cool.
When I end this call now, that's us gone. So then I'll just send you a message on Facebook and just let you know it's gone. It'll probably go on sometime tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. All right. No worries. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot, mate. That's been great.
All right. Take care. See you later, Tina.
I will see you soon. Bye.
If we all poke them all, it's just a matter of time until the whole house is gone.